Hey, You Will Make It TV, followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners across the globe. Thank you for tuning in to another live segment here at the You Will Make It TV channel, where we believe sharing inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly do help to ultimately raise the vibrations of the atmospheres around us, the communities around us. One piece of positive information a day can help to keep depression away. That's what we believe here. You Will Make It TV. So we just teach people here, hey, the more that you become aware of a thing, of a matter, of a person, awareness, knowledge has also been known to keep feelings like fear, doubt, and depression away. Because what is there to be depressed about, fear about, or doubt about when you have been made aware, when you've been given 100% full knowledge of what's going on? It's kind of hard to fear whatever it is anymore. Like they say, most of us just fear what we don't understand. So this topic today is not about fear, but in a way it is, because October, of course, for those that didn't know, You Will Make It TV every year. Well, You Will Make It TV is new as of the last year, but on my other YouTube channels, we would always make it our business, or I would make it my business as an audio host, as an author, to shed light on bringing more awareness to domestic violence. But October 2025 is Domestic Violence Awareness Month again. So shout out to all of those who do put in effort and a little work just to show communities and places a little bit more, each. Of course, October is not the only time you could talk about domestic violence awareness, but it's just that month. Just like they have Breast Cancer Awareness Month, all these different reserved holidays for us to come together and discuss. Shout out to you in the chat. We appreciate your support. Today, we're just here to talk about the realities of domestic violence. See, a lot of people just, they normalize toxicity because nobody has ever pulled them to the side. Nobody. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. People want you to be ashamed of it. Like, oh, nobody ever told me toxicity was toxic. But look at the root word, right? Like, you can almost become normalized to toxicity, but we'll get back to that in a minute. I just wanted to give reverence and let people know, hey, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Every October, I always tell myself I'm just glad I thought about it. It's only like the 5th of the month. I want to get like some baskets and stuff together for some of the people maybe at the battered women's shelter. I had the same idea for Valentine's Day, but it's like times like this, you must remember that there are other unfortunate people around you. What do I mean when I say times like this? The holidays or Domestic Violence Awareness Month, right? Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You don't have to care about it at all, or you can. You can put in effort, go buy some dollar lollipops and some sweet cards, and go be a sweet blessing to somebody who might be trying to fight or overcome cancer, right? It's so easy to put other people's lives aside, like we just the only ones out here going through stuff. But I just like to stay aware of, like, even conditions that maybe me and my children don't personally suffer from. It's not to make me feel better about myself. It's like the more I feel aware of, the more prepared I am in case I do run into somebody who might suffer with that. I know to be more gentle with them. I know how to make them feel comfortable, or I might even can relate to a few things that they're talking about, depending on what it is that is burdening them. So anyways, thank you guys for coming back here at You Will Make It TV to support us with another live discussion topic this beautiful Sunday evening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, okay? These are 3 free efforts that you can do that support is absolutely free. If you haven't already, please feel free to check out our short section where we share inspirational quotes daily, okay? Now, for y'all that, I don't know what's been going on with that, but sometimes I post them and people don't see them till like 24, 48 hours later. That's okay too. We appreciate every view, every comment, and every little bit of support, okay? Because you guys inspire me. This is not new of me. That's another thing I want to announce. I don't know who went around telling people I was trying to be a brand new I'm trying to be a brand new leader. See, it's a difference between trying to be something and just like walking into what you were supposed to always be at the same time. But I'm not here to prove myself to anybody. I just said that anybody might be able to relate to that. You know, people would think something you doing is brand new when you've been known to inspire people your whole life. Like, inspire people you didn't even know you inspired. They tell you later. I'm telling you, some people have told me, some just didn't. But the ones that God led them to tell me, like, you know, that one day you really touched me, or that one day, and it don't even always be about something you did for that person. You just never know who watching you. You never know who watching you in a moment, or under pressure in your own life, or under scrutiny in your own life, and they might get inspired, like, oh my God, that young lady didn't even cringe or woo 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 woo. But had they seen me back in the day before I had a little more knowledge and wisdom about things, yeah, things used to get to me. Or inspiring the next person probably was the last thing on my mind if I'm going through my own circumstances, trials. You know, all people got to do is ask me, like, how can you find time to inspire others and you have your own setbacks in the background? All you got to do is ask. It's a harmless question. But obviously there's some type of experience in life that lets you know that it's not just your burdens that matter on earth. You think the universe just listen to one person prayer every day? You know how many prayers go before the heavens, before God's thrones every single morning, every single night? If you don't, just check statistics right now. Check statistics in your local community, in your state. And this is what you ask Google. Hey, Google, how many women, children, elderly, animals are abused every second? Whichever category you want to go research. But today's segment is about domestic violence specifically, because this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, if you go Google, how many people are abused on a daily? It's just really sad. Just brace yourself what you're going to see in those statistics. It said every second. It's just crazy. I need to look at I'm sure the statistics update every year, but the last time I looked at it, it said every 10 seconds. That's what just had broke my heart, because it wasn't even every minute, every 20 minutes, every hour. Every day. I can accept something like that. This said every seconds. I don't remember if it said 10, 15 seconds. Every 60 seconds. Not just women, but see, women have its own category too. I think it said women. Every 30 seconds, a woman is being abused, literally. And people are okay with this because they think abuse is just a physical touch. Somebody rubbed you wrong. Somebody can rub you wrong without even touching you. Did y'all know that? I'm Arthur, audio host Tetasheri. For those that are new to our channel, you can always support us by sharing any one of our segments, leaving your own thoughts in the comment section, or sharing your own experiences. Anytime we share our channel email and other links where you might be able to access web and digital design services. That's something I do specialize in. I had kind of took a break from it because, of course, a lot of people don't know that, but Miss Arthur Tetasheri had a new baby. People try to, it's just something I went through, but they don't call that abusive, and I'm not going to call it abusive, but they swear you should be moving at a certain pace right after you have a baby. And I was like, did people forget? Some of these women don't return to work to the baby 5 because they don't want to trust the daycare. They don't have to. They don't want to trust the babysitter. They don't want to do none of that. So they wait till the baby is full blown old enough to go to school, and then they return to work. So yes, it's amazing how just one baby, because we're talking about the lives of women for a second, not just me as a woman. I'm using my experience for example. You can't put a time limit on when you think somebody should return to work after they have a baby. But see, the whole time, I never lost my touch. I never lost access to skills, or like once you learn a skill or a trade, or you gain knowledge in a specific area, expertise, who told you that a person just forget that? I mean, maybe that's the fantasy of bystanders. You're not just going to forget what you learned because you put it on hold. That's like I was a mechanic for 10 years, but I take out for 2 years. And then I return to work and everybody's shocked. And it's like, what are you shocked about? Did you think I forgot my mechanical skills because I wasn't in the field for a little while? The thing about an entrepreneur, they can leave the field anytime they get ready and come back when they're ready too. But see, when you leave the field, hopefully you're doing something else, or you just ain't making no money for a while. That's what I think about it. I know I think this because it's real, but we're going to get to that in a minute because, see, financial abuse is another category of, it can be another category of abuse, depending on what a person going through. Financial abuse has always been one of the top 10 tools that abusers use to keep a person in a stagnant position. You know, some people say, "Oh, I don't like a codependent person." Y'all can't believe what people say. People love that. Some people do. They love people being so dependent on them because it makes them feel needed. It makes them feel wanted. It makes them feel like, yeah, people need me. And I don't mean to bust anybody's bubble, but I don't care who you are. People don't need you. They need God. They need themselves. They need to learn themselves before they do end up believing like, oh, I just can't make it. You know what? I pray for the people on the earth that have manipulated and coerced people into believing that they need them. Even my kids, I'm not raising them like that. I agree with them learning a sense of independency or a sense of, you know what, mommy might not be here with me every single second of my life. You know, she got to turn her back sometimes. I want them to know they can depend on their mother, but I'm not raising kids that are like, yeah, I'm y'all crutch. Because then what if something happened to me? I don't want them depending on nobody. It's actually more of a curse of a cycle than people would imagine. It really is in a lot of people's lives. They like, well, everybody else depending on grandma, I'm going to depend on grandma. Like, why are you doing that to grandma, though? Do you think about the weight and the pressure it is on that person that you sitting there codependent on for how many years? What? If they tell you out their mouth, oh, yeah, I'm comfortable with you being codependent on me, well, that's another story. But people just be doing it. I see you, Mixie B, in the comments. Let me read what you said. I lost my son in a car accident last week, and I have some heart failure. You know what? I'm gonna be praying for you. You're telling the right person exactly what you said. And once again, like I said, I am teaching don't depend on others, but you can depend on somebody's prayer though, because that's what prayer warriors are about. First, I want to give my condolences to. I'm sorry that you lost your son. To me, it's been something out of whack with transportation lately. First, you saw it with the airplanes in the sky. Now you're hearing about more traffic accidents than ever. I don't think it's coincidence at all. Yeah, the devil is very busy. Since when did you just hear all these sudden accidents? Every time you turn around, somebody done got hit by another car. And, you know, the devil's so stupid, he think that things just happen and we just supposed to accept it. You're not supposed to ask no questions. Woo, woo, woo. The Bible I read told me, yeah, test the spirit by the spirit. That pretty much means question everything around you. You ain't got to accept something because somebody told you, hey, I got a good spirit. That's what they mouth telling you. God said, test the spirit by the spirit. And me personally, I do feel like people crept around in life just to test me. Because most times at school or workplaces, you're going to be aware that you're being tested. It's like, here you go. Here's the test. We just got through with orientation. Actually, I'm in the middle of a position right now where you got to pass the test before you start the actual work. You know, and I've been thinking about that a lot in life. Because you guys are probably like, what they got to do with domestic violence awareness? Just keep up with me. Baby girl, can you turn it down just a little? That was just something God had put on my spirit earlier, though. Like, notice how most other things in life, if you are going to be tested, you are aware that you're going to be tested. They're going to give you the piece of paper. They're going to give you the tools you need to take the test. This is real life now. Because we're going to talk about how people use test-taking tactics on others, and that's a form of abuse too. It's domestic violence awareness. Somebody might come across this stream and hear some information that helps to set them free from a situation of bondage as well. It's like the reactions of people standing up to break out of bondage situations is crazy to me. You should be proud to hear people liberate themselves. You should be proud to hear that somebody else said, hey, this is not for me. Like they had a conscious awakening about their own life. And they stand up and say, well, this is what I want now. Every time you see somebody do that, I guarantee you heaven is celebrating. But maybe people say, well, heaven ain't here, so we don't want to hear about it. Yeah, the angels and stuff, they celebrate about things. So does hell. So do the hell realms. They have celebrations about stuff all the time. They have parties. So yeah, heaven parties. Heaven rejoices. The angels rejoices. I even learned that nature rejoices. And you be like, nature? How did you know my business? But nature, they say that for a reason, that I heard it through the grapevine. A grapevine is a whole natural element of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like comes from trees. So it do make you wonder where that quote came from. Or they'll call trees whispering trees, right? They just always had these quotes that surround that nature may actually talk and know how to communicate and know more than we think it knows. And you like, how do the trees know my business? And I've been in the house. But they let off the carbon dioxide, you let off the oxygen. Y'all know how it goes. Like, we're actually more in tune with nature, whether we want to think about it or not. Yeah, the trees, I bet the trees, the sky, the clouds, the stars be knowing everything. If only they could talk, right? Well, that was my point. They do to some people. It's like, who paying attention? Who's being an active listener? Who's paying attention? That's another one they used to say, like, birds whisper, or birds cry, birds speak. All of those people who made songs, poems, and movies, titles like that, they even caught on to the fact that nature can sense us. It can feel us. It's aware of us or something. But back to Mixie BYT in the comments. I want to let you know I'm going to be praying for you. I could just imagine. I can't imagine. But I've been close to, like, losing people dear to me too. You wouldn't even believe it. I've also been close. I was just telling God the other day, a few times it was somebody and you feel like, hey, that could have been me. So through our periods of loss and grief, we must, as hard as it is to remember that, you do remember, like, hey, well, if God got me still here, I'm here for a reason. How long a person gonna question it? It's because some people will sit around and question, like, God, why is this person still here? I think it's a sick question. Like, why would you be rushing somebody to their grave? They live in their life like you did in your 30s or your 20s or your teen years. I pray for people like that who think that that's the way to go, like to wish somebody away. Some of these people, if they had genies and wish masters, that's what they would, that's what God showed me, that some people, that's their petition. They could ask for $1 million or a major change in their life, but they rather ask to see somebody else gone. Now, we know that accidents happen. Death just comes in all kind of ways. It's crazy. When it's an accident, nobody say nothing like, oh, it's unfortunate. It's an accident. It's still sad. But when it's actually plotted and all of that, it's even sadder because people look at that as it could have been prevented. Back to what we were discussing about domestic violence awareness. For a long time, most people just... this is a good topic to talk about it. I was walking the other day, once again, probably communicating with nature. And it just came to me like, you are an empath, Tetasheri. You're an empath. You easily pick up on the feelings of others. And I've been pretty much struggling with that for a long time. Like, it took a lot for me to learn where to kind of put a boundary down a little bit. If you can do that and tell your soul, hey, not today. We're not going to pick up on, we're not carrying any baggage or feelings of what anybody else might be going through. I literally have to preach this to myself through certain seasons of my life, because how are you going to elevate carrying everybody else's bags all the time? But if it's a natural gift for you just to pick up on what others are feeling, I would rather use it in a way that is going to edify the world and empower people, okay? So the feeling that came to me it was just like I felt the weight of how many people are literally in, like, I don't know, secret abuse. I don't know. It was like God had me feel for a second the real deep grief that a person carries when they feel like something is being done to them and nobody knows about it. I don't know who's still trying to abuse people in secret, knowing we in the age of technology and cameras and pretty much nosy people. Like everybody pretty much gets information at the drop of a hat these days, and you still got people out here, oh, I'm gonna secretly abuse somebody. That's stupid to me. Even if it's your wife, it's your husband, it's your children. And then you got so many people doing it. I was talking about this with somebody today. When abuse gets so out of line, the devil rather make everybody look like they doing something before he just go down for what we know he is and has always been. It's like, well, everybody's doing it. No, but your judgment all by yourself comes too about whatever you've been doing in life. Because I've heard stories over the years where you could look at a person a certain way or whatever, and somebody could feel like that person hurt them. The perfect example of this is like people that end up elevating in ministry, right? They might choose to live out their calling with God and in the church and in the faith, right? I don't know if people thought because I was young, I wasn't aware of this. Like, yeah, right when you usually get off into that type of work, like, let's just say light work. I don't want to say it's just always preachers or people in ministries or people that start nonprofits. No, anybody doing any type of light work or what you want to call them, empath. Not every empath cares to put out, to use their life and use their destiny and use their purpose, to help people. So I do feel like those are some of the most, that has always been a way. They're some of the most attacked and victimized people sometimes, because it's like, why are you using your purpose to help women or help people come out of stuff? I don't know, but God just let me feel that I'm trying to find the words to explain what he allowed me to feel and how it might feel to him. Like my child, I don't care. You know how somebody you love in a fight and you can kind of try to hold them back? It was like God was showing me with what I'm on, ain't nobody finna be able to hold me back, even you. And I know God loves me very much, and I love God, and I've been able to talk him. I feel like I've been able to talk God like out of things, if that's possible. Like talk him into it and talk him out of, just like he's a person here. That can sound crazy to people, but that's how deep my prayers be, like. Or maybe like compromise with, you might have brought, and if people think that's not real, you have to read the Bible with some stories. There were many prophets that came before God's throne on the behalf of others, literally, because they were able to pick up on something that God was ready to do, especially when it comes to him saying vengeance is mine and executing judgment and stuff like this. Just like with the story of Jonah, not Jonah, Noah. Just certain people that were living in the way of God, but that didn't mean that the people that were being brought up around them chose God. But sometimes their families were spared just because that one chosen one in the family was praying for everybody. The whole time Noah was building that ark, he was praying for everybody, literally. Well, I know he was praying for his loved ones for sure. And that's probably sometimes the only reason some of us were spared. Grandma was praying for you. Uncle, cousin, somebody was praying for you, and you just thought, oh, that was another lucky break. Somebody prayed for you years ago. Like me, I have covered my kids with prayers that in a way where I have prayed about them, and when they become adults, whether they know it or not, it's gonna be times God is right there, or they gonna feel like they had a lucky streak or a miracle or a blessing came their way. And they not even knowing it's because you had a praying mother while you were still a youth, before you were even an adult. Once again, I just want to mention to Mixie B YT, we give you our deepest condolences here at You Will Make It TV. When I tell a person I'm gonna be praying for them, I'm serious. I do pray more peace and healing and clarity on you, Mixie B YT, because that's just another part of my. I feel like Spider-Man sometimes. Like you a warrior hero in secret. Like you literally pray for people, and changes do happen. But you're just not out here trying to prove that to everybody. You might feel like people need to know that. Like, hey guys, when I pray for people, breakthroughs happen. But since they didn't want to believe it, You just live your own life for a little while. Live a little more independent, solitary. Don't ask nobody for nothing but God, and watch what people see. You won't have to prove that you're a prayer warrior and that your prayers allow breakthroughs. People just feel like breakthroughs should fall out the sky, miracles. And I was trying to explain to somebody just last night, like, and this person was listening to me because this person has seen me go through some stuff. And I was just like, deliverance is very real. Being delivered from something, or a delivery being delivered to you. But when it's deliverance in the spirit, God does not have step like, oh, I'm gonna bring you out of this a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna change your situation just a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna fix you up just a little bit. When God gets involved, yeah, it's a full blown deliverance. And the only way that can happen is if you fully come out of whatever it was. That's like having a bunch of dirt behind your back, and God say, did you take a shower? And it's all this dirt behind your back, and he keep telling you to go get back in the tub. Like with the story of Nahum, for those that read that, well, it was one of them kings. He had to keep going to go dip in the river just to get back clean. And he would come out and he's like, I'm not healed yet. And they told him, well, God said go dip back in it again. I think he ended up having to dip at least 7 times before even his breakthrough came through. I don't believe that God couldn't have healed him the first time. He had him go dip 7 times to build his faith. He knew that every time he went back and dipped down in there, he was exhibiting how bad it was. He really wanted what he wanted from God. He had tried witch doctors. He had tried everybody else that could help him. This is a whole king who could pay for anything he needed. But when it comes to health, the reason they say health is wealth is there are certain conditions, no matter how much money you have. Yeah, only God can fix that. You can have all the money in the world with some of these health conditions. It won't be enough, to change your situation depending on certain sicknesses. So that's where you would see kings and different people in the Bible days. They did want to hear more about Jesus. Like, well, let me try him, because I done tried everything else, right? What I do see, so back to what I was saying about deliverance, like, God don't have step with something like that. Now, I'm not going to say every woman, man, or child or person that was being abused only was rescued through the help of God. You see what I'm saying? Everybody has a different path to where, because see, if you're not even aware that you're in bondage, okay, just like the slaves, think about them for a second. Most of the times when they have kids and the kids just raised in slavery, why would the kids think there's anything toxic about it? This is how they're being raised, in the same lifestyle, in the same environment, doing the same work, mama, daddy, grandpa, great, they in the slave field. So why would they know anything different? That's kind of how it is with domestic violence situations. If I could give my word of advice to anybody, because people are not going to always be loud and vocal, like, yeah, this is what I'm going through. I would say that I know that God is a deliverer. Once a man, woman, child, I don't care who it is, somebody being abused, start praying to God about it, you can expect to see some changes. You might not even see them immediately. And it don't always mean like, oh yeah, God, break down my abuser. It's usually just that person praying that God make a way for them out of whatever the toxic situation is. A lot of like dating statuses that I feel like are toxic, like they call it entanglement or side piece or mistress, and they have normalized these titles: mistress, boyfriend number 2, side piece. And all those that I just named, there's nothing natural about them. It's just they gave it a more fancier title for you cheating on somebody. That's toxic. And I knew it wasn't gonna go well. Nobody wants to be that person like, oh, I told y'all so. I just knew it wasn't gonna go well. You had people saying, well, We a free country. We should be able to do what we want to. So we want to have new wives now. We want to date outside the culture. We want to just experiment with our sexuality even more. You know what's funny? It looks just as familiar as the Sodom and Gomorrah story. Don't you know their minds and hearts thought the same way? They told themselves, we want to do what we want to serve the God we want to. We want to worship statues and idols. We want to do, we want to be into divination. We want to do just live everything wild and free. This was before the establishment of the United States of America. So there have been other bodies of people before. And once again, history just repeats itself. They tried to live these wild, crazy lifestyles. I went through that in a season of my life. I said, God, I'm through speaking up about what people do out here, because all they make them do is come after you and say, well, what do you do? And even when I looked at it, no, I'm not out here talking about it's cool to have a mistress, a side piece, and 20 boyfriends or 20 girlfriends if you a man. I don't advocate for that. If anything, I think that's the same toxicity that ends up leading to these domestic violence disputes that people go through. It's cool once you're being pleasured, right? And I taught this on another segment over there on my Crown Publishing content channel, how temporary pleasure seems to be. Pleasure can bring you a little joy, a little happiness for that time, but then you would have to continue whatever it is just to remain pleasured. So pleasure is kind of like an illusion to me. Something that actually brings you long-term joy or happiness, how could you consider that or compare that to pleasure? Pleasure, it helps us to think about the difference. Pleasure is just like, oh, this makes me feel good. Okay. For how long and when, what time of day does it make? And how much do you have to have when you say this thing or that thing gives you pleasure? I said it on a segment earlier this week, guys, and I know that there's psychologists and therapists and people that work in these fields to help people through their mental battles, right? But I feel like since they're gonna amp the antics and increase the visuals and put more sexuality out into society and into the world, you also have to put more people into the psychology field in case that doesn't work out. Literally. This is just my opinions and commentary though, guys. I always preach, do not get offended at that. We should be open to one another's opinions. That does not mean agree. Open means you are an active listener. Because I listen to other people's take on life all the time, whether it's right there in their face or me going back just watching something on TV or documentaries or watching videos on YouTube. I hear people's opinions all the time and stay silent. It's been great practice as well. It's taught me true endurance and patience and how to be an active listener. Because how can you cut somebody off that you're not even in front of? Like, they're talking, you're listening to their opinion, their take, their research, you see? And you're just quiet. Like, how is that harmful to a person? I feel like what I just said, those type of arrangements are the type of, like, every domestic violence dispute starts somewhere. That's my point. If you hadn't got yourself in that entanglement, side piece, 20 girlfriends to begin with, how could you end up in certain situations? So I'm not trying to tell people, oh yeah, everybody live in fear and nobody dating. No, I'm just saying it pays us at the end of the day to at least give it thought and say, okay, did God tell us to do things a certain way? That's one way to look at it. Even if that's what I had to do. Like, some people, it's not that, or what does hard-headed mean? But here is where I was going with this. I don't think that they're hard-headed. They're just the type of people, if they feel like they don't understand something, they don't trust it. I wouldn't say they fear it, because we said that at the stream. It's always been said that we fear what we don't understand. Okay? But if some people don't even trust it unless they understand it, they don't have a quote for that. I wouldn't, and then how can a person say, yeah, I don't trust God, if they, if they don't understand God. I don't think anybody will fully ever just understand God. So this is just my opinion. But I'm saying the more understanding you have about a person, place, or thing, or period in history, whatever it is, you might trust it more. You trust referring to this source of information. You trust talking to this person or whatever it is because you understand it better. That's all. So if you understand dating culture or family culture today, let's not talk about just culture or economy culture or social media culture. If you realistically understand what that looks like for people today, I'm not blame shifting. I'm saying everybody's experiences with people's places and things, like let's say 2017, we might not all have the same opinion about the phone. See, it's just a good example, like a good way to explain what I was trying to say. It's just a good topic. Hey, as a matter of fact, so I'm not talking all night to you guys. I'll just I'm going to commit, and I love to roll with the punches, but I just decided we're going to come back with new awareness topics pertaining to domestic violence for the rest of October. How does that sound to you guys? If you want to be a part of that, you just tune in back here. Whenever you see You Will Make It TV, we come back every day, so don't worry about it. If you don't see a post from us in the morning or the afternoon, 9 times out of 10, it's posted that evening or the middle of the night. If you don't see it that evening or the middle of the night, it might be because I'm going to post it the next afternoon. One thing for sure, though, those that get to subscribe and follow us and receive those notifications, then you're keeping up what our channel is doing and the movement and the growth, okay? And I think it's important as an author, as a poet, as a mother, as a sister. I got so many hats that I wear. Even if I don't wear them every day, you can have an old coat in, right, y'all? I don't mean to get too deep, but you're not letting that coat go. It's just been hanging there. You know that coat been there for 5 years and you ain't wore that blazer, because some people are like that. They'll wear it when they are ready to. You're not going to wear a winter coat in the summer, are you? You're not going to wear a bathing suit in the wintertime. But you do have those things because you wear those things. That's how it is with our title, domestic violence tonight. When you guys are related to people out there, because all family could use love. That's, I love how we communicate when we have to. Oh yeah, so it's just like the articles of wardrobe of clothing that one might have in their clothing stash. You might not wear this one with the same day that you wear this. That's the analogy I left off talking about. You might not wear every hat or role or personality every day, not to try personality disorders, but it's like if you wear many hats, you know that sister is not the same hat as a daughter, or a daughter is not the same hat as an uncle is not the same hat as a grandmother or a grandfather. Different whole hats that people feel these shoes. We started off all in the world just pretty much appreciating and loving our families because every hat is different. And that's hat. What hats do you wear at work? What hats do you wear at school? You might just be a student. What other hat do you wear in that facility? You might be a office aide. I was there a few times, and no, no, no. It was actually a class. Like I was already on it. Now in the office in school days. If I want to, you just got to be a certain grade to be in it. and you got to have certain credits, a certain amount of credits. What part was I on though? So you wear many hats. You're not gonna wear all these hats all the time. But see, even the Bible says a man should cleave to his wife and leave behind his family or something like that. Because it seemed like the women and men, they just start back using those analogies or symbolisms or Bible scriptures against one another. Like, well, the man is supposed to be the household and the leader. And with the women, it do say that, like, okay, well, men, you're supposed to, like, literally how this is written pretty much. Maybe it don't mean physically cut off everything and everybody, but kind of do that because you're now being full married or full with somebody. Like, come on now. If you have a wife or a husband, your whole life finna change already. Just ask any married couple. I'm not, like I said, you probably don't have to cut off everything, everybody physically. Hopefully you should still be living your life. Y'all just more, if anything, connected. And it's actually legal to do that if you marry. Like, okay, everybody connected, but connecting how? Like, everybody should be trying to, it shouldn't go in anybody family. I don't care. But that doesn't mean everybody you always with is going to also love whoever you with like you do. So yeah, man, you're gonna wear different hats in life. Some less than others, some more than others. I don't. I think everybody should just be grateful for their own plate. It makes alleviating what any possibility of it. It does. It helps raise the chances of there not being any type of, people look at you crazy because it needs to be said in the world. Maybe these days we gotta bring that back. Like, it's okay to be, I don't like to say the word real because everybody definition to that, but it is like, if you feel like life is just crazy, man, like, if you get married, right, that's a part of your family changing. You changing a part of the family. You changing a part of the whole family tree just getting married. Maybe we don't all look at it that deep, but if we were more busy looking at these things in each and every one of our families, though, you're not gonna, everybody ain't gonna be your best friend, though. You can't expect that either. It's not realistic. And everybody's opinions are different. Maybe when we come back tomorrow, we will start throwing those questions out there. Just help raise the vibrations. Like, it ain't gotta be arguing, beefing, fighting, toxic in every family and community all the time. Maybe that's just, it needs to be said. Well, Arthur Tetasheri, what are you suggesting that everybody do? We fall back in love with knowledge. I did a inspirational quote about it. That ain't you calling people dumb. I hope nobody would take it that way. But to fall in love with knowledge, to me, is another level. It's another invitation of because you can have the right and wrong knowledge. I wouldn't say right and wrong knowledge, but some people abuse knowledge too. So the topic of domestic violence is very deep with me. I feel like I will always be a great advocate if it's like, okay, a person passed that part, like, okay, they aware of it. How do I change my life? How do I move forward? How do I see my way through the dark? Because we know with any type of slave, even in the slave days, one part that is most interesting to me about that part of history, they say when some would run away, or not even run away, but that part is true too. Because, like, even if you run away, you have to learn how to live out there. Like, you've been a slave all your life. So the chances of you actually getting away, staying away, surviving being away, and crossing over to the other side and learning a whole new life, the chances are slim. Well, they were back then. But even when they were freed, it said a lot of the slaves would just stayed there because they really did fear, or they left when the Emancipation Proclamation went into effect, and everybody was getting word of it. Some of them were free and left the plantations, but they turned around and went back, like, willingly. They got tired along the journey or whatever it was. To them, going back to that was a little bit more comfort than just being introduced to brand spanking new. That's the thing with addictions. Addictions can be a form of bondage. You like, how is that abuse? You would think the person abusing themselves, but really, I say drugs is the bad guy. Drugs, anything addicting like that, they're the bad guy because you know you're like that. It's like, why do you exist? Why are you out there? But you could say a person is a kid abused. Like, anything could be abused is my point. You can abuse medication. You can abuse anything. We're not just talking about people here when we talk about domestic violence. Here you will make a TV Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Anything can be an abuser, and anything can be abused, in my opinion. Like, for the rest of the week, we might come back with more actual direct, like, topic questions that everybody can come in the chat and chime in on when I go live. Questions like that matter. Like, do you think spouses should come first when they marry? Because I want to know what the world thinks about this. Not in a funny way, but people need to voice it. You might can be helping somebody, or times are different too, and you can hear how the new age people do it. They asked a question before on one of the social media apps when memes first came out, because those memes used to be funny. I just knew it was something special about them, to be honest with people, because I always found them very comedial sometimes. Like, a meme, M-E-M-E. It's like a flyer, a picture with words and a caption with the perfect picture to go with it, and them memes be absolutely hilarious. You didn't get you a soda? It's in my backpack. Oh, okay. So, memes be funny, but this meme said, ladies, who should get their plate first, the kids or the man? And I don't like that people put that kind of energy in the air, whether I had a man or not, when I seen it. Because it's like, you're making people now think about people that you should just eat when they get ready to eat. Set it up here. Now they thinking about, well, who getting a plate first? Domestic violence is understanding that it's not uncommon that families end up being toxic together. You got to understand that even though they're blood related, every one of them have different personalities though. Like, they own people. They regular people, like, in the world. You feel like you know them better, you love them more, because maybe that's what God is calling me to. And it doesn't hurt where I can to be a voice for families. But I try to remember that every day too. Like, my initial reactions to things when people are closer to you. Like, it's funny, domestic violence is only considered like people close to you, but abuse can be at the hands of anybody. They don't have to be your family. There's something on the news right now with Tyrese Dawes, the famous singer, the R&B singer. People like, what does that have to do with? Man, it just show you that life is real. What you mean? Like, your dogs can go bite somebody else. Yeah, they can do that. You gotta, yeah, that's a part of your responsibility. People be wanting to look at your kids. No, how some of y'all doing with y'all pets? Because they was like, this story don't sound right. He should have had security. Like, you don't hear that. Like, people on that status, just they dogs, they bring them out in public and everything. I know they do, because some places are very pet friendly. They let you bring them in a store, especially if it's like a dog that helps you through your medical conditions and stuff like that. So I haven't really. I should do a reaction. I'm gonna go look into that story and do a reaction probably sometimes this week, because this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I'm trying to teach people abuse can be from anybody. And what's crazy with animals, y'all, depending on what it is, they don't even get a chance. They just like put them to sleep, or I think they'll put them in a facility, but really they'll just put them to sleep if they like go out there and bite people. I guess some look at it as do what animals naturally do, because just because you domesticated it does not change it from being having wild instincts. Ain't that crazy about wild and the wild and nature? If something is wild and you bring it in your house and say, no, you're now my pet, and you say, you're now my pet, and this is a whole animal now. Yeah, Tyrese, for those that don't know, he sing a lot of different songs. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back. For y'all that don't know, that's him. He play on Fast and the Furious. That's Tyrese. And I couldn't, it's just like everybody business is their own, but they hurry up and mediatize it. Like, yeah, his dog bit somebody. I don't know, and I don't like to be too quick to judge stories. I have commentary and reaction just like everybody else. But that is strange. Like, the man have security bodyguards. What is he going through? How did your dog? They saying his dog got out and bit either the neighbor dog or the neighbor. I told them I'm gonna go look up the story, but I think it said he went, what? Oh, he got in trouble because he didn't want to give, I think they was trying to make him give the dogs. Like, yeah, you gotta bring them in because of what happened. And he didn't want to. And some of the podcasts, y'all, this is You Will Make It TV, we laugh too. Some of them was saying, oh, Tyrese dog's hungry. Like, that ain't even local news or nothing. Y'all know some of that is just celebrity gossip and stuff. And it said, yeah, Tyrese dog's hungry. I'm like, now they just putting anything. They made sure to put a picture of some dogs that look. It's not even funny, man. I'm like, so you expect us to believe that's their celebrity dogs? And we just supposed to, okay, that's his dogs. Obviously, the man is going through something. Who just easily puts these stories on these people? I don't even have to know these celebrities, but how did your dog bite somebody? Most animals that are domesticated, though, they can be friendly, but not all of them are. Like, you gotta watch your dogs. I saw somebody's dog get hit in the road. My daughter was with me. She was crying. It was a little puppy. You have to watch your animals. They be telling people, watch your kids. And anyways, like I said, for the animals, it's just sadder because if they go there with somebody, like on some abuse stuff, like an animal jump on somebody, they'll come out there and, what's the word? Euthanize. They just come out there and put the animal, they gonna shoot it with their shot, like a bow and arrow, and the animal gonna go to sleep. And some of them they just put to sleep. Like, yeah, you're going, they call it putting the animal down. Not to make y'all cry out there, but it's a very real part of life. That one dolphin, Shimu, that dragged that lady to the bottom of the, it dragged that lady to the bottom. It was an orca, I think, at SeaWorld. Everybody knows about the story. And that is sad, condolences and everybody too. Her family actually just share good memories of her because they said she actually used to love to swim with the animals out there at SeaWorld. She was one of the trainers. She would swim with them and do these shows for thousands of people that would come to SeaWorld. This dolphin drags her down to the bottom and keeps her down there. They say you saw it on camera. It did it on purpose.
No, it was a orca.
Come on, you can help us talk about it on the podcast. But I remember some of the
It was
story
an orca.
because I watched the documentary while I was pregnant. I don't know why. Come here. This is the mic right here.
It was a orca.
A orca is a dolphin, right?
No, it's a killer whale.
Oh, because they just
Her
swim
name was
with them.
Jessica or something.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the documentary?
Yep.
You
Anytime
guys
on
should
TikTok, I
check
just
that out.
see it, and I'm like,
It's a
what?
great documentary to watch for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Why does Tetasheri recommend that? An animal actually took this lady's life. It wasn't an animal with legs. Okay? It had fins. It had teeth. It's a great killer whale. You chose to dedicate your life to going out there swimming. The same thing happened to the crocodile hunter. I'm going somewhere with this. I forgot his name. But he used to just go out there and like train crocodiles. Y'all know everybody says it, so I'm gonna say it on her too. When we talk about and God rest his soul. Uh May he rest in peace. We all loved him. He would go out to like jungles, like some of the wildest crocodiles out there. His name was the crocodile hunter. He was out there in Australia, and everybody says this. All them crocodiles he wrestled with, it was a sea animal though, another sea animal that actually contributed to him losing his life. Guess what it was, y'all? I think it was a stingray. Those are serious. I heard those are serious animals. A stingray can pretty much kill you. Just straight out there, out of the ocean. One of the big, huge stingrays, Morgan. That's what is that Squidward? Huh? Squidward is not he's a jellyfish, right? I'm talking about a stingray. See, if I ever get rich, I would want animals like that. Ain't a lot of people. I wouldn't like ask for too much, but I would want exotic animals if I could. A few of them. Now, some of them be going crazy getting tigers and lions and stuff. It's just some animals. That's what got me started off to talking about this. Abuse is not always people. You done brought an animal in the house trying to domesticate it. Like, oh, you're my pet now. That's what's so crazy about it. Like, no, it's a wild animal first. You said, oh, you're my pet. Then you want to go shoot it with some medicine. Yeah, we're putting you to sleep if you feel like it acted wild and actually be itself. Literally. So what's crazy about it, how I look at it just from a higher view, is like we're all beasts though. Even humans, like we're we're beasts. We're different type of beasts. We're mankind and stuff like this. Like, but you're definitely something. And it's just crazy that some people don't believe in it. They think we're just human beings. They like for it to make sense. Like we have brains, we have organs, the blood makes this work, and it's all just coincidental. But really, we're all instinctively mammals. That's what they call us. I was looking for the word. We're beasts. And they said, this is how y'all should be. It does make you think deeply about it. Like, are we supposed to be like animals outside like them too? Because some people, if you act like that a little bit, they're going to call you animalistic anyway. You know. I think abuse ends when more people get more familiar with themselves and stop fearing themselves and stop fearing what they don't understand. If you don't understand something, now you're more invested in learning more about it. You don't have time to remain confused and stagnant in a cycle of toxicity. Oh, because you would be too busy learning more and more and more about what it is. Red flags, all of that. How do you just know that? You're going to take somebody's word for it, or you're going to go research something for yourself? Are you going to find my words verbatim? Like, oh, the more knowledge you seek, the less time you have for toxicity. Are you going to use, it ain't going to tell you like that. It's the experience that the person is, more vocal about today. Of course, if you stay stuck in a 17-year-old mentality in your 30s, that's going to look different, Anyways, the dolphin took this lady's life though. It was like people still talk about it. Like it was aware that she needed air to breathe every day. Like she thought she's studying it. She thinks she's training it. She thinks she throws it fish and it do tricks. Literally, y'all, this story is real. You can go look up the documentary. But she died loving what she died doing what she loved to do. Even her family on the documentary, they feel still proud of her today. And people have to be. If you ever came to those SeaWorld shows, the trainers, they do deserve a lot of love for what they do, but some people look down on it because they look at that. Again, you're bringing a wild animal in here, making it pretty much live like a whole nother way that it would live in a wild. Like an ocean is limitless. If a killer whale is in an ocean, it might even live a longer life. It's just crazy. They probably don't talk about it a lot. I think it was on that documentary I saw that some of them die. Like that is so sad, y'all. Like some of those animals, they don't want us to know. They come there to those places that they're not used to because you just want animals there. And they die of depression. They die of depression too. They can't sit there and do nothing. You don't hear many stories like, oh, lion killed itself. No, but it's like other ways they can just pass away, like of whole depression. Like they'll just stop eating, they just get depressed and die. Like, what? Where am I? And they like, oh, I mean, so that's a way, I guess, an animal could. But no animal I've never heard of just choose not to eat or not to be wild and go make sure it eats even the animals. You just never heard of it. Like, so an animal got to be really depressed to stop eating or something wrong with it in another way. Like, and this is just what nature teaches us. So I think it's so interesting. Nature first. It's like either we're one with it, like everybody is saying, or it is crazy. I think nature was created how Genesis go, like the first day this was created, the second day, the third day. I believe nature, light, you see what I'm saying? Light, which would have been the sun, all of this was created first. That's what's deep about it. But nature teaches us that, like, anyways, this animal was aware that her not having air for a minute, it's just scary to know that they that smart. And you thought you was feeding it fish and snacks to do tricks. It's a whole great animal. They stand on their noses, they swim with them, they do tricks, But any human, if you under there too long with no oxygen mask, underwater, or you don't come up for air at some point, yeah. That's what's crazy. It didn't even she wasn't bleeding, nothing. It didn't even hurt her like that. We must pay attention. This is nature. This ain't even people yet. It didn't even have to break her in half. As big as that animal was, it could have, because they had built a rampart. They had built a relationship. They built relationships with these animals. Like, what animal just letting you train it or coach it or teach it, groom it, and y'all not building some type of relationship? You see, I guess the animal begins to trust the trainer. The trainer obviously trusts the animal because you still going out there trying to train it. A whole wild animal. It was never a good idea. But people, they used to ride elephants. They used to do a whole lot more, actually. Just let the animals be animals back then. Then they start using them for work. They might have the mules help pull some hay. The horses help transport some logs. They might have the cows out there working doing something. But animals, if anybody know burdens and you know, just a side of life, living trying to coexist with whole other mammals or beasts out here, animals just see it as another day, every day. Like it's just another day, another animal finna be preying on me. I might get eaten, I might live longer. I might get sent to the zoo. Just like Madagascar shows us. That movie is about these animals trying to prevent getting put in. No, they liked it at the zoo. It was something like that. No, a few of the animals didn't. They were trying to escape and go back to the wild. That's the thing. Madagascar. The penguins wanted to stay there.
Now the penguins, they try escaping. The penguin and the lion, try to escape.
Yeah, Alex and them wanted. I know it was a few animals that was like, no, guys, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't try to escape the zoo. Like the hippo. Like, what are y'all doing? She the only one has sense. But why are we talking about these type of situations? It goes back to that. Even an animal had sense enough to know, like, oh, I don't even have to like hurt her, like squash her. Like he knew his weight. What he did is he used his weight to keep her at the bottom of that water tank. Ain't that crazy? She tried every trick and things she would usually do, but they know that's a risk. Every time they get out there in the water with those big, humongous, gigantic water wild animals. It's even been clips of dolphins helping people in the sea. So I guess I've already seen that. They can be good. If you call it that, they can sense danger. They can sense when somebody's in trouble. So this dolphin knew what it was doing. This killer whale. I don't know why I keep calling it a dolphin. Because I think they have dolphins out there too. At SeaWorld. That's the thing. It's like a aqua. I'm not sure if that was her name. But SeaWorld is all about that. It's going to be fish, aquamarine animals everywhere. And they have rides. Y'all know it's an amusement park and stuff too. But they have the shows. That's what they're well known for, with dancing and doing tricks and flips in the water with these animals. They probably like, she's lost us. No, I'm finna get to my point in 1 second. This animal didn't even have to break her, touch her. They put this animal to sleep. Did they? You said you watched the documentary.
I didn't watch it.
I think I heard. No, some people was mad because they let it go back and, it was on break for a little while, but like it got to go back out there and do shows. I think, did it do it to 2 people? I gotta look back into this. I think after it did it again, then they put this specific one down because it was one of their best show killer whales. Like, it made them a lot of money. Like, this killer whale was one of their best dancers and stuff out there. But y'all get back with me and tell me in the comments because I don't remember quite what happened in that story. But I do believe they do put animals down, like whole dead, like whole to sleep, for attacking human beings, quote unquote attacking them. Of course, if you just riding down the road and you hit a cow, a deer or something, they gonna just look at that as an accident. Like, this animal did not attack you. You see, you were in its nature territory. Yeah, when it's like that, oh, I was out camping. That's another thing. If a bear attacks somebody while they camping, and it was a no camping site, and it had signs of bears, you're on your own. They had signs out there telling you, don't camp right here. It's bears around here. But I think once emergency services get there to save somebody's life, they will take an animal down. They will shoot that euthanizer needle at that animal to save somebody's life, right? And I was just wondering, is life really balanced though? Like, because animals, they don't get no, like, have you noticed that? They don't, like, okay, dog, you got 3 years in jail. Morgan, the animals don't go to court. Like, you know what they do to them? You know, does anybody at You Will Make Your TV know what they do to animals when they go? And we call this domestic violence. But listen to this. For anybody the next time, like, I just got hit a person or do something. Animals, when they do that, like, and it's not for self-defense, like they just attack somebody. If you call the police on that animal, they're gonna probably shoot it when they get there. They try to have the animal people come too, because they try to save the animal life. Even if you like, oh, there's a raccoon in my chimney. When they get it out, they not finna kill the raccoon for being in your chimney. They're gonna let it back right outside in the What do y'all think them people that come and get rats at a people's house? Where do y'all think they take those rats? You think they just kill them? They probably take some of them in for study. That's another thing God been showing me about life. Like, there are people's lives dedicated to making sure that they get every piece of usage out of something. Like, they first mind is not, let me throw this in the trash. Let me kill this. Let me let it out in the wild. They might see other usages for something, somebody, or a place. They actually do that for a living. Like, it's, if you've been in a confined world where you haven't seen the rest of the world yet, I guess you wouldn't know that. But yeah, there are people with jobs out here. What do you think recycling is? They created that idea so that they get 100% of the full usage over and over and over again out of one piece of material, which is called plastic. Or there's other things that people recycle, but mostly plastic and cans, aluminum. You can recycle a lot of stuff. You can recycle clothing. People just choose to throw them away. What is recycling them? Giving them to somebody else, re-sewing them, taking them to the cleaners so they look brand new again. Before you go buy a brand new, that's recycling. You using it over and over and over and over again. Now, that's what they're pretty much doing at those animal facilities. So it kind of had the world in awe when this story was mediatized. It wasn't like the lady who had a pet chimpanzee and it ripped her face off, but she survived. You're not being arrogant with this topic. You're being real. We have to, what does this have to do with domestic violence awareness? These creatures that's pretty much a part of their living instincts. They think they in the wild, have a flashback. And this was his owner. He had learned to love her. This person feeds the monkey every day. This person feeds the killer whale every day. The alligator hunter, the crocodile hunter, those alligators loved him. But they'll still turn on you. Some people have pet pythons. But they say, oh, I'm not, in their minds, they're not nothing against you python lovers out there. But y'all know what y'all are doing? They got to feed those pet pythons every day. They're a pet like any other pet. What do they feed them? They feed them mice. Pythons eat whole different stuff. This is not like having a dog and you go get dog food. Pythons eat rats. Once I saw that, I was done. Like, who could have that as a pet? And the little mouse was just squirming and they had it like this, like dropping it in his mouth. And the python just, like, nature teach you a lot. The mouse didn't have a effing choice. A human is holding you and the snake is right there. That's all the little mouse knew. I don't know why that was my mind when I watched it. Of course, it had thousands of comments, but I was just traumatized. Like, oh my God, I was still stuck on the part about the mouse, but they showed it on camera. The snake ate it, and it was a pet python. You saw the mouse go all the way down its body. I tried to hurry up and swipe the video. Morgan, I tried to swipe through it. I didn't want to see that. No more. Because, if you don't swipe it, it's just going to reloop. If it's a short. And I was just like, this is awful. But at least I can say I saw it. And in nature, snakes do this every day. They need a bunny, a rat, a squirrel. They're going to eat something like that. And I don't know why people have those as pets. They take it out the cage. They wrap it around their bodies, their arm, leg. And this thing can literally squeeze them anytime it get ready. Like, anyways, what is Arthur Tetasheri point? That just back and forth, over excessive, overpower, over domination trend today is animalistic. Animals even respect who they build relationships with for so long. Most pets, you don't hear that they turned around and killed their owners, but these stories have come about. The animals at SeaWorld are not pets, or are they? They said they live a good life up there, but the documentary I watched, SeaWorld will never be as big as the ocean. So they're just saying with their minds, oh, it's having a good life. We feed it the best fish, and it gets to see 1,000 people every day. In nature, they don't see that. They see animals like them every day, not crowds of kids and people with dolphin cups and cotton candy in their hands, popcorn in the stands. And a lot of people say they think that killer whale just mentally lost it that day. But you didn't mentally lose it. If anything, it showed its intellect. Like, you literally held that human at the bottom to where she couldn't swim back up. Yeah, Morgan, it did that. It knew that wasn't a part of the routine. They said it had just changed the routine. Back to that comment in the chat. The doctors say is one thing, God say is another. There was a man in the Bible who was known to, the doctors told him he had 3 days. God turned the 3 days into, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it was 30 more years. He made a pretty much pact with God, though. There's mythical stories. I'm not saying God is a myth, but there's other mythical stories about people who supposedly went and made deals with the other side. Whether it was the underworld, they talk about the underworld deals, but what about those people that made pacts and covenants and promises with God? It's not a game. They can pretend it didn't happen. God not gonna let you forget. Hey, you don't remember what we talked about 5 years ago? You've been living a whole different other life here. You can live your life like you making a pact with somebody is not bondage, is what I'm trying to tell people. An agreement like, hey, we're dating now, or we're married now, or we just made a pact. I'm going to give you pink, you give me black every day on Tuesday. That's an agreement you and that person made. If somebody just stopped the agreement out of nowhere, of course you're going to be confused. I be laughing at myself on my live streams, but yeah, so we talk about these, it's even movies about it. I don't know, rest in peace to Aaliyah, if people seen that movie Queen of the Damned, where she looks like this hell princess and everything. It's just another exhibition that people believe that type of stuff is real. Like I made a deal with the devil. I used to laugh when I heard people say that. I shouldn't have never disrespected it or underestimated. People might actually did that, made a deal with the devil to get their career or whatever the hell. I'm gonna start listening to people. I just didn't take it serious at one point in my life. Like, what do you mean? Or what do they mean people saying they did that or do that or that it's even possible, right? But if you do read the Bible, people made deals with God too. People you wouldn't believe. They like, yeah, God, I'll do this for you. Or I don't know, just like deals after they did something. Because you did this for me, for the rest of your bloodline, for the rest of your bloodline that's born on this earth, they'll never have to worry about nothing. And God promised them stuff like this. Like even when they at their last wit and feel like they gonna die, because they of your ancestry, your lineage, your bloodline, even if it's 1,000,000 years later on this earth, they gonna be taken care of because you were faithful to me. That's the kind of covenants and promises God make with his people. Or with anybody, you know. People don't be wanting to hear that, but it's okay to hear the spooky stories. People making pacts and deals with ghosts and the devil and stuff. Now, back to the agreement part. If somebody break the agreement, because I think people fear covenants or promises. Everybody wants a promise, but nobody wants to keep one, do they? Keeping the promise is work. So you might as well not, going back to giving examples of commitments, because a relationship could be anything. You and your pet, you and your driver, you and your boss, you and your wife. A relationship could be, it's usually two to tango, whatever it is. It could be a pet and a person. That's still a relationship. Because they said pet abuse is real. Some people be out here, just know they be out here abusing their pets. You can let them go free. So I feel like people like that me personally, I feel like they're weird. You're weird if you're abusing your pet because you don't even have to have it. They might think the same thing about having kids, but no, a pet is a pet. Your kids are your kids. To abuse either one is weird, but like with pets, I just always thought that because neglect of your pet is abuse too. Like your pet don't look like it had a haircut. It's dirty. It looks hungry. Those are signs of the pet. I would say any pet still is in better hands than out on the streets, but I've seen some crazy pet documentaries too, like animal rescue stories. Animals be behind the scenes going through a lot every day, or people just carrying on living their life. But shout out to those that do get the animals help, or when they see suspicious things with animals too, they call and report that, because they do deserve a chance. To me, I was just saying, I believe in it too. If nature was their home first, you got to come to some kind of compromise. Because I don't know. They start allowing pets are a old practice though. Like I heard even in Egypt, they it was like trendy. Everybody had a cat. Pets go way back. But it's animalistic for everybody to just like, I don't know. It's like pets should be animals, not your spouse, not your kids, not your neighbors, nobody is your pet. You want a pet, you gotta go to you go get a pet. You can even go to Facebook Marketplace. They sell pets on there. All kind of different selling apps today. Now you probably can't get a pet on Amazon. That's one thing they don't have yet. Amazon, there's an idea for you. They do not have pets yet, and they probably would never do that though. They can't do that. Like how they gonna do that? I'd be shocked if I see that. Like Amazon sell pets now. It just wouldn't be safe for the animals. That's weird. It just wouldn't be safe. I could see how they would be trying to help society, but they should at least do background checks on people. Don't just sell pets on there. You have to make sure they're going to safe homes and stuff. I've never adopted an animal though, y'all. I hope they do that though before they just be giving animals to people. That is so sad because I felt like that only happened in a human world where the homeless might get picked off or picked on or chosen for, because how do you know all those animals go there to nice homes? Like, how do you know what they're doing with them once they get there? We in our fairy tale worlds believe, oh, all the animals be okay. Okay, so why is there an animal abuse hotline? It literally exists. It's like the 911. Just in case you didn't know that, too, kids. It's called the Animal Abuse Hotline. They're like the CPS for animals. I'm not playing. But people think every animal that's adopted is like just, oh, they went to a better home. Do you really think that? Even with orphan kids or foster kids, they're like, oh yeah, we found them a home. Like, how do you know? Did you check on the animal or the person months or years after that? No, we just got to give them a home and drop them off. So, because there would be a lot of animals to have to call and check on. So, I don't know if they be doing that. But I know all those. You don't know what a person is trying to take an animal home to do. That's weird. I think they should just leave all the animals alone. Once again, how do we get from domestic violence to this? Well, we have to look at it as a reality at some point. Like, this starts with nature. Like, not even all the animals that are promised that are adopted from these animal shelters are going home to, like, oh, they just went to a lavish life after that. Some people do have touching stories of them and their pets, how they met their pets, how old their pets was, and then people have all kind of pets. But we do have to be wise. Make sure those cages or whatever, if they wilder animals, wherever they supposed to be at nighttime, you don't just start trusting a whole wild primate or wild animal in your house like that. I don't know what, but I don't even know if I want to speak on this dream. I don't know what could happen when stuff happens, but like if something ever happened where zoos just somebody let all the animals out, do people know how bad that would be? It's like I had a dream about it already. All zoos should just really. I know they do a great job because we don't have those type of stories on the news. You might hear an animal or two escape sometimes, but never just like no Madagascar where they walking around the city. Cause you would have all kind of animals walking around. Hippos, that's scary in itself. Like a whole wild hippo just walking the streets. But these were like specifically black panthers. They was just walking. Do you know how dangerous that animal is? Anyways, I just feel like they should at least do background checks, some on people when they like, well, it's an animal. The less we have in a shelter. Like, how do you know that animal is finna go back? Some people study, experiment on rats and animals and stuff. They probably come to get animals for that. That's why I always knew the animals, since they like us, because I'm speaking up for them. Like, ain't no telling what they been going home to, Morgan. Yeah, when they get adopted, how do you know everybody is okay? Oh, we gave the animal a home. Like, did you check on it after that? Oh no, there were two great guys came and got him. He's finna. You don't know what these animals going. Y'all need to be going to check people. Y'all check on the animal just like you would when you place kids with new families in those programs. Cause ain't no telling what people been. That's why it ain't gonna be. I ain't gonna even say that. They talking about it's a food shortage. Like people are probably out here doing stuff to the animals. When has it been a food shortage? Let the animals be nature, make more animals. How can you run out of food? But no, somebody wants to be greedy and like, I need bones. I need this. They be hanging those bear heads and stuff in their house, in the woods, those cabins. The world is crazy, bro. They be real animal heads. Goats, bulls. What else did I see? They definitely be having the bears up there. Like, yeah, I'm a champion. I shot a bear. And you're not even trying to like make fun of it. Just like, how could you be so? And there are whole laws. People feel so passionate about it. They said, no, we're going to protect this. Like, it's certain animals. They're called endangered species. And they'll put whole laws in place. Like, you cannot cook these or touch them. Let them walk around in the wild. So I know that we can get to where we do this as high as a level as we need it for women and children as well. They have whole laws that protect animals. I ain't playing. Like, you will go to jail, you will get arrested, you will get a ticket for literally if somebody it's just stupid. Like endangered species. I'm trying to think of examples like bald eagle. It's just certain animals. If somebody find evidence you're out there hunting them or caging them, and they already an endangered species, literally. Like the world is working on trying to preserve the ones that's left, and they want to let them create so there could be more of them, and your ass is caught abusing one of those. It's really crazy. They'll take you to jail. All I'm saying, if you riding a moose down the street, you better have a good reason when the police pull you over. Is it your moose? Did you buy it? Where's the papers that show you own it? Why are you I think, what is it? The Grand Canyon, some of those places, Yellowstone, where animals are. You can't just be out there doing whatever cause those are state parks. Like there's deeper stuff behind that. These animals are protected by the law. Literally, certain bears, mountain lions, bulls, yeah, let somebody catch a photo of you messing with the animals by Yellowstone. You might you might get a ticket. They're definitely gonna call the state park patrol people because they be out there. They're gonna call them. Just like, if you do see weird stuff with animals, you are supposed to report that anyway. You just are. Somebody could get hurt. But like I said, if it's a whole area with signs that says moose are over here, deer over here, ducks are over here, whatever it is, it's kind of going to be your fault. Like, they're going to ask you, did you see the signs? Like, it says bears all over here. Because, animals actually get put down to sleep and dead if they attack you. You gonna go camping right where it say it's bears right there. That's what I've been noticing on some of those movies. They be going it says sharks all over the beach. I think if I go to the beach and see that's exactly what's gonna make me stay on shore and tell the kids don't go too far. It literally say sharks on the signs. They be like, oh, they just have to put, what do you think those are just there? I know at those beaches it be having shark signs. People still jump. They like, I'm going surfing. And that needed to be said. And it's like, it is a strong opinion. And they probably gonna be like, Arthur Tetasheri, you can't control the animals of the law with women and children. And yeah, you can. Because guess who else is going to be endangered if you're not putting them on the front line to protect. I was watching a documentary just on the other night of how like war tactics used to do when they take over certain people, villages, communities, land. And it was just horrible what I saw some of these soldiers used to do to the other people, women. Because you was a woman watching the documentary, like. But I like knowledge, so I sat there and watched it. Like, They were just doing horrible things. They wanted you to feel like not only are we taking your land and everything, they just want you to feel that mentally, like, yes, I'm taking you, I'm taking your women, I'm taking everything. Because really, to me, it's just mental. Like, yeah, you could physically be hurting people because that's really what you doing, just to show me, like, oh, I'm taking over everything. It didn't matter if you had pets, food, tents, houses, kids. They would take your kids and make them their slaves. What did you think war was back then? It was just a documentary showing me, like, hey, maybe this is how the Vikings used to do it. This how pirates used to do it. Whatever it was, this how this. All these different wars. That's all it be about. It's somebody want to take over of something. Of course, if you forced to fight back in that way, or your only other option is let them take over. Of course, if you try to fight back, now it's just it has to be called that. It's like a war because that's a little more than a battle. That's that's like you being literally forced to defend your territory. That's why they say domestic violence. It's like it's a ill toxicity to have within family because why would y'all want to war with each other? Any family. God just like he's that merciful. Like we got to think about it. If a person coming in your whole village, you're helping them. You helping them. Oh shit, we came to take over their village. They already killing each other. And they the one trying to take over, they would be laughing at a sight like that. You're not supposed to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like mental warfare. They would it's just all in history. This documentary I watched, the biggest thing, they would take over your women and children. Why would you do that? This is how a lot of nationalities and cultures did mix though. Like what do you think, a person just went to another country, start having kids back then? No, like some of these things were integrated, bloodlines were integrated through whole takeovers. God already showed me that. But the documentary confirmed it. It was just like it confirmed it, like it was straight historical facts, like of stuff that really happened. They just the history books might tell you about the wars and who won the wars and who was fighting. So God have some of his soldiers already on it, like in between. Okay, when one is going on, what are the people going through? You know, how were the people fighting? Okay, so that was just a fight. If a certain what's it's a lot of movies I could give y'all for recommendations, but like 300. They say he might have lost, but he lost with respect and dignity. He shot his last shot. It left a scar so big on the king that took over his land face that every time that man look in the mirror, he might have defeated him, but he just saw like, yeah, this scar is from when I fought the warrior, nigga. He took half of my face off. Anyways, that movie just gets me passionate like that because it's very, very real. You're not gonna win. That's what was real about that movie. 300. The one with the most dignity and respect, he just didn't. He like, no, we gonna fight you. Even if we got less men, you're not just gonna come in here, take over my queen, take over my castle, take over our land. They wanted to make a deal with him. They came with him. They came at him with a deal first. Hey, our king sent us to tell you they minding their business at the palace. Y'all need to go watch that movie. They minding their business like life is good. Our land is good over here. Like Mufasa or something. It always start like that. And our king sent us to let you know if you just submit willingly, he felt like the invitation was disrespectful. The movie called 300. They say if you just do this willingly, he's going to give you 30% of this, 40%, you'll be one of his best men. So you want him to go from king to one of your best men. That's how he looked at it. I mean, that ain't even saying I'm going to be king over there. You letting it be known you're staying king. You just want me to... and you want all our land. He had a beautiful, strong wife. She was a leader. Y'all know that. She helped to kind of lead some of the wars and stuff. You know, his wife was very well known. It's crazy. They wanted to just take over it. Like, we don't want to see it called that no more. We want to change the name of what you got to where we want that. If you submit willingly, we won't just come in here and take it. That's what he told him. He said, well, go tell your king I said. And what he responded was he kicked the soldier in a dark pit. Tell your king I said that. So the other ones went back and said it. They end up having to go to war, y'all. Because he whole felt like that. Like, I'm not finna just... I'm telling people to look at this like this in their households. Yes, God said it was going to be division. But I don't think he wills that for any home. People like to use that like, yeah, let it go on. The Bible said it was going to happen. Okay, so that means you just allow it? No, warning goes before destruction. Maybe God was just saying, yeah, in the last days, this is the kind of stuff, like this is the kind of strongholds gonna try to attach itself to people. That don't mean like where he said mother's gonna be against daughters against mother, fathers against sons. Everybody just supposed to be okay with that. I'm not saying I'm even refuting the word of God. I'm just saying that what is hope if you see it begin to manifest in your own household or family or life? You just say, well, it must be the last days. It was in the Bible. This was going to happen. Because it seemed like that's been people's response to that. Like, oh, okay, you're knowledgeable because you're saying you peep that the word of God is true. Oh, now you want a reverence to it. Because you see more and more and more people going through that. They youth struggling with depression and mental health. Oh, yeah, that's already been discussed on many topics across the globe right now because it's happening all over the world. Like more suicides, more violence, more, people would say more, but anything you advertise more, it's gonna look like that. It's like word of positive stories, which they're still out there too, but those do circulate. But now it's like people can see through that too. Like, who really still trying to sell false happiness and joy still? People can see that. Especially with social media here to help you do it now. Or people say you can look however on there and be living a whole nother life. I mean, who cares? Duh. Your real life was here first. Hey, when people reference to that and be like, oh, people living a fake life off of social media. What do you mean, bro? What was fake before social media then? Because that's all you had was your life. Everybody was going to see who you really was before social media. There was no hiding that. Period. Don't act like social media tells us who we are now. No, we was here first. It's like, what you want? Why would people put you in a position you got to defend yourself from social media? But if I ever had to go there, I was here before social media was. So that means I was already me, whoever I am, however I am. Yeah, a lot of us, we kept a camera. Though they weren't the kind where you could upload them yet. Just a camera, like, you could go take it to Walgreens or Walmart, get the photos developed. And now you got the pictures. Yeah, we just kept a camera. So how you gonna say, oh, this person be fake using filters and photos? You can't say that about a person like me. Now, filters are great. It's a feature that comes with most apps. People talking about, yeah, you hiding something if you using a filter. How? They're the ones put it as a edit, as a edit feature. Because back then, even if you would go to Walgreens to get these photos developed, if you tell them, hey, I want it in black and white, I wanted, that's where filters started and came from. You see what I'm saying? To my knowledge, filters didn't start on no internet. If you would tell them while they're developing the photos, how you want those photos, they were already getting to that level of technology where they could recreate the photo for you. Like, it's the same photo, but they can make it like brand new or a certain filter. I think the only filters we had back then though was like black and white or that reddish looking filter. They didn't have where you could get cartoon edits, animation edits and stuff like this on your photos. So of course, us that came from the generation where photos was just, you had to go get them developed, and now you just have it at the snap of an instant. Yeah, we were here before that, but we were here right before the boom. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we was like the first ones on it, just using it like crazy. A certain generation of people. Cause when did it come out? Yeah, why are we talking about this? They say social media, since social media rolled out, the percentage of divorces have increased. That ain't even just boyfriend and girlfriend, baby mama, baby daddy. Whole divorces, like y'all was married. Just because Facebook came out, just because IG came out, just because Snapchat came out, now more people is divorced. I bet it wasn't even just social media though. Probably those dating apps too. Those dating apps, they got one called singlesmeet.com, all these different dating apps. So that probably did an increase as well. Because, you know, before dating apps, you had chat lines. They just always had other sin and crazy stuff out here you could go get in, even though you married, even though you're in a relationship. You think they're going to close down places just because you're married? They still going to have strip clubs there. They're going to have bars, all that. It's up to you what you like choose to indulge in. But I was just saying, do people know how they look? Like, somebody from afar could just be plotting it, like, because they want to. Like, yeah, I want to come in and take over their territory. If you sitting there fighting yourselves, a whole family, they didn't even have to take over. They laugh and talking about, look, well, this was easier than we thought. But back then in those wars, no, they fighting over their land. They fighting over their homes. They fighting for their jobs. Now, when you start, maybe that's America's way or some places' way these days of just challenging people. Like, are they still willing to fight even though we gave them technology and social media and Uber Eats? Are they still willing to fight for their? I would hope so. I would hope so, because you overtake too many families. Now what have you done? You've now overtaken. That's why it's always been funny to me that we just don't have time for that. Even if it's just a wake-up call to America. Like, nobody got time to be, look at what going on in that person, how everybody should be so busy helping one another, helping themselves. You don't know what the next person got going on. Because all that kind of discord does is sometimes y'all be out here starting whole disputes in other people's homes. You plant one seed, it's 8 people live in that house. You plant a seed in one. That what you planted in that person might spread all over their house. Told that little boy is your mom and daddy don't love you, and you don't even know what you just the burden you just put in that whole one house. That ain't even the other family members yet. And they don't know what's going on. Like, why this person acting different? The house is off balance. Because somebody planted a seed in your territory that you only plant carrots, squash, and potatoes usually. Somebody done came and planted a eggplant. Y'all know the eggplant emoji? That's why I thought that was funny as an example. But it's like, hey, this ain't one of our plants, but I mean, we'll take it. It's still a garden over here, but it's like, yeah, it could be an inconvenience. And maybe if people look at it that way, like, I hated to see that statistics say social media was breaking up homes. They said it's because what people do on it. Or is it because you have somebody, people do that now, like, oh, I want to check your social media. And that's what break them up. They don't like what they see. For our last commenter down there, just remember that we're going to be praying for you here at You Will Make It TV. Doctors can tell you how long you have left to live, and God can say otherwise. If the Bible story didn't inspire you, the man that turned to the wall and said, I was leaving off on, he made a promise to God about something. Like, hey, God, if you do this, I'm going to do this. But that's serious, too. You wouldn't make a pact with the devil and think you're not finna keep what you told him. That's not how I heard that work. So those who talk to God and it's something you really want from him that somebody else can't give you, some things can be replaced, a heart, a liver, a blood transplant. Some things when it's messed up, that's it. So you go to your last. God shouldn't be people's last resort, but if that is, it's better than none. He might respond. They say he works in mysterious ways. He could allow whatever it is in your life to get that bad just so you can come to him. Now, I don't look at that as abusive. That means God don't press himself on nobody. But if he love you, what else? And you have to come willingly. What would he have to do to show you like, hey, I'm right here? Why do it got to get like devastating in people's life for them to like, okay, God, finally I'm finna try this. I'm finna go ahead and pray and just see what happened. Like it shouldn't. People shouldn't come with to God with that kind of attitude. But he knows hearts. He knows hearts, and I would say he just shouldn't be people's last resort to me. Like, okay, God, I need you now. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I do believe he put us in certain circumstances to get us to that place out of love. Like, I'm gonna let you do it your way this whole time. And then let's just see where it gets you. Yeah, like I'ma let you go as far as you want. And then when you get all the way down that road and you notice you didn't have no water and there's nobody else want to give you none, woo woo. If you want to come to me and I replenish your thirst, okay, so I do believe people have experienced that in life. It was just like talking about the slaves that turn around and go back to the master because they fear what the other side might be because they never lived it. God does stick close with those because I don't think he wills for anybody to go back into a situation that he had to hold deliver them from, like the children of Israel. They even start complaining. Like they had times and moments where they wanted to turn around and go work back in Egypt for the king. Like, Moses, you on your own. This is a long walk. You said it wasn't gonna be far. Every time we ask you, is we almost there. You saying no, we got a little ways to go. They just start complaining. They was like, at least there we could sit and we knew what time we gonna get off work. Like, Moses had to remind them, man, y'all was whole being whipped and killed and you didn't have a choice what your life is once we make it over here, you know. And sometimes I think it's just that the journeys that be getting some families. They let a little bitty, to me, it is little compared to being, you know, because even the Bible said it. The man's supposed to cut their family off, the husband, in the New Testament teaching, and cleave to his wife. I guess because you're now her strong arm, like she depend on you. Like, it is a whole order to it. They'll just say, oh, the wife's supposed to submit to the husband. But see, if you ain't did that part, like, oh, you didn't cut off everything that could potentially come before your spouse, how is she gonna submit to you? That would mean she's submitting to you in everything that you were putting before her. That's out of order. That's just out of order to me. Like, it doesn't say for some reason like, oh, wife, cut your family out. It do say that, like, cleave to your wife, cut off everything out. Yeah, pretty much. Especially if you called, you and that wife have a purpose or something God wants y'all to do, and he called you to just go ahead and start doing it. It already said it in the Bible, like, you know, and people have to understand it. That's why they don't want to see people with certain people, to me. Like, and all of that still goes back to family and why domestic violence disputes exist, why a lot of women are not here today, men that are locked up behind this type of stuff. Like, you want to keep a person, let me find out, like, away from a person because you feel like, oh, that person gonna take this person time now. Well, that's what the Bible says it's supposed to do, especially if they trying to move, they both serious, they want a serious relationship, they're trying to commit to one another. They would have less time for it's just that people shouldn't look at it that way. It don't make you less relevant, less significant, less important just because somebody gets into a commitment with another person. You can look at it as, okay, well, I've known this person this many years. They are now together. So this person is just getting to know this person, but I know this person. But still, it's those person's decision what they want to do with one another. You see? And that's where domestic disputes come out at, because it's like people be trying to get in the whole control of people's self-will, but they still not ready to look at it like that. Like, no, I want you with this person. Or they literally be thinking it to themselves, like, I'm going to have this person less if I let this person go and just love that person. That is selfish. And people think God don't see that. And so this person walking around with the burden of no family, no friends, just to stay safe, just to walk upright, that's crazy. But then the same people be invited to people weddings sometimes be the same ones playing their hands and cards to help break that couple up. How does this go back to domestic violence awareness? Once again, like I said, most of these disputes is created. They start somewhere. We'll be back with a part 2. This Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Just edifying ourselves, raising the vibration a little bit. It's okay to know what you know and actually live by it, you know? The less you allow in your territory, your home, the more boundaries you have. Now, that's not promising nobody will try them, test them, challenge them. That's just literally in the history of life with mankind. Like, you might have to literally put up a fight for that. Or you just lay down and willingly say, here you go. Here's my life, my wife, my kids, my territory. Here's my finances. That's what the devil want us to do. Here's my clothing. Here, you can have the children, turn them into whatever you want to. Like, no. And the oppressor never looks at it that way. They just want what they want, you know. So, thank you guys for tuning in.